It's a pretty big year for Queen Elizabeth II. The day this video is published, she will be turning 96 years old. So to mark the occasion, I think it only right to delve into some of my favourite facts that you may or may not know about Queen Elizabeth, our gracious, noble, happy and glorious Queen. The Queen was born on April 21st. However, her official birthday, that we more publicly celebrate, is actually in June. This became a tradition since her grandfather, Edward VII, was born in November, but he still wanted to have a lovely summer event to celebrate, so he simply held the birthday parade in June instead. This is known as the Trooping of the Colour, which has been performed for the monarch's birthday for 260 years. Since then, the monarch has publicly celebrated their birth on the elusive date of a Saturday in June. We also have the Queen's Jubilee happening this year in June. The Platinum Jubilee for 70 years served on the throne will be the first time this has ever been celebrated by a monarch in Britain, as Queen Elizabeth already held the title for longest reigning monarch since 2015 when she surpassed Queen Victoria. Despite having had so many Jubilees to celebrate, this one is going to be especially celebratory for the Queen and for the nation. Technically, her 70 years of the throne has actually already passed on the 6th of February 2022. This was the date when officially Elizabeth succeeded to the throne when her father passed away. However, the Queen has always preferred to remember him on this day and instead celebrates all her Jubilees during the summer months, again allowing the public to enjoy their bank holiday celebrations in the summer. When she was born, Princess Elizabeth was not expected to be our Queen. She was the first daughter of a second son, which meant her uncle Edward would become king and probably have his own children, who would supersede her in the line to the throne. Her uncle Edward did become King Edward VIII in 1936, but soon abdicated in the same year. Princess Elizabeth's father became George VI, and she became his first heir. At this point he only had daughters Elizabeth and Margaret, but if he had had a son, Elizabeth would have been booted out of her place as heir in favour of a boy, thanks to the now discarded male primogeniture rule. But they didn't, and so at 10 years old Elizabeth became and remained as heir presumptive to the throne. So formally we will be celebrating her Platinum Jubilee in June, which will be 70 years since her coronation on the 2nd of June 1953. Queen Elizabeth was the first monarch in the UK to have her coronation televised. Millions gathered across the country to watch this event, since it was the first time the general public would have even seen what went on at a coronation. It is estimated that around 2.5 million TVs were newly installed in homes across the country in the months leading up to the event. This wouldn't be the first time that the public would hear her from their own living rooms. She made her first public speech on the 13th of October 1940 on the radio during World War II. At 14 years old, she spoke directly to the children of the nation, becoming what some would say a beacon of hope in the turbulent times. Her first official public engagement was on her 16th birthday, the 21st of April 1942, in which she inspected the Grenadier Guards at Windsor Castle, for whom she had been appointed colonel for that year. In 1944, when she was just 18 years old, Princess Elizabeth was appointed Chancellor of State when the King was away on a tour to Italy. This marked the first time that she would be acting and carrying out duties as head of state. In 1945, she joined the British Army during World War II in the Auxiliary Territorial Service, where she learned to drive and service motor vehicles. Queen Elizabeth is the most depicted woman in the world, which I don't find that hard to believe if you add up all of her portraits displayed on every item in the world, considering the amount of money from banknotes to coins floating about with her face on it. She has sat for 129 portraits since she became Queen. The Queen does not need a passport to travel. If you happen to have it close by, just flip to the front page and you will see that your passport is issued in the name of Her Majesty. So legally, she doesn't have to give herself permission to travel across borders, or exert protection in her name over herself. She also is the only person allowed to drive without a licence, which makes sense as she doesn't really need any form of identification to prove who she is to anyone. She had a long and happy marriage with Prince Philip. When they married on the 20th of November 1947, Elizabeth had to use ration coupons to buy the material for her wedding dress. Some of the public actually sent Elizabeth their spare fabric coupons to help her get enough fabric for her dress, but they were all returned as it was illegal to share or trade ration coupons. Luckily, she received a gift of 200 extra coupons from the government to pay for it. She had the longest marriage over any other British monarch, at 73 years at the time of Prince Philip's death. This is perhaps my favourite fact. I don't know what you use for your alarm clock, but Queen Elizabeth wakes up to a bagpiper every single morning, which might sound less than ideal to some, but luckily the piper stands outside her bedroom window, not in her room. Finally, she owns all of the unmarked swans in the UK, and if you want to hear more about this, as well as the strange tradition of the annual swan count, check out my video here on that topic. Now that's all of my favourite facts about Queen Elizabeth II. I hope you enjoyed this video and let me know which of these facts you didn't know in the comments section. Don't forget to subscribe so you can catch the next video, and goodbye for now.